Feel like Drake would do a wonderful job of managing the garden section at a Home Depot. Why are Cannibal Corpse fans nicer than Taylor Swift's? I look like an unemployed garden gnome. If you don't know the difference between chicken fingers, strips, and tenders, you don't love yourself. Grand Canyon, more like Earth's anticlimactic stretch marks. Travis Scott is starting to sound like this call may be monitored for quality assurance, head ass. Sean Kingston looking like a restless pot of greed. Getting mad at a Jimmy John's employee for using Coca-Cola without the cola on the job is like getting mad at Jimmy Fallon for not writing his own jokes. Lives in a pineapple under the sea, the victims of the Titanic, it's not funny! Kevin Hart's gonna start getting them funny grandfather roles. Hot to go, more like sweating to stay. Ferris wheel should be called the maybe go round. If Italians would take a little time just to make a spray cheese of their own, it would be the best there ever was. Call it Parmigiano Spraygiano. I perceived church as an old people club when I was younger. Why isn't there an autism train yet where you build puzzles that are pictures of trains while riding the train while learning about trains? Call it loco-motive. The Grim Reaper doesn't have genitals, they're non-bi-scary. Guy Fieri and Macho Man were always the same person, different drugs for different occasions. New Lincoln Park, more like middle-aged musicians that are hungry for sad adults' money. You can't tell me that Drake isn't the Elvis of today, just a dude that gets a lot of love for singing someone else's songs. Turtles are nature's moving ottomans. Who's out there collecting their fortunes from the fortune cookies? Do you think the chickens served at Chick-fil-A are Christian? Guardians of the Galaxy, more like angels of the outfield. They're not protecting Pluto. You could wax a bumblebee before you could get Denzel Washington to like you. I feel like that guy could angrily manage a Panda Express. PetSmart, yeah, says every white woman that owns a dog. You aren't born with sass. You gotta ask Queen Latifah if you can have some. Kamala Harris is that employee at Foot Locker that rushes you to choose something. Travis Scott has as much talent as a SpongeBob background character. Pink does indeed have a sister. You guessed it. Her name is Purple and she manages a Home Depot. And you guessed it as well. She's built like Grimace. Choosy moms choose Jif. Ghetto moms will twerk at the peanut butter factory to distract the workers while their sticky little children try to steal as much nutty peanut butter as they can. Kanye West is the Dr. Doolittle of music. He'll just be having full-ass conversations with sleigh bells or a trombone. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, more like those poor people are hunched over because they work at the DMV. I'd pay top dollar for a mason jar full of Mothman's bathwater just to give it to Dan Schneider and tell him that's what his personality tastes like. Nougat is the only N-word that I'm using heavily, alright? But don't be saying noogers out here. That's a little too on the... I don't like that. Pop-Tarts are the prostitutes of toaster. You can eat them raw, but you shouldn't. Inside my mind is like a Spirit of Halloween crossed over with SpongeBob's house. When you find out as an adult that Frosted Flakes were not the only performance-enhancing drugs that Tony the Tiger was taking. Bald eagles are the grouchy Walmart greeters of birds. Five Nights at Freddy's, more like a hesitant weekend at church camp. Hey, Garfield? Overrated. My favorite kind of coffee is laxative. There's a Band-Aid in my egg roll, or how they say it in America. Welcome to Panda Express. Grim Reaper for kitties is called the Enough Fluffer. Young Gravy, more like prepubescent chicken stock.